I am going to ask Senator Gillibrand to state her questions.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. Mr. Secretary, the Department of Defense is required to consult with the Department of Transportation prior to deploying counter-UAS systems. You and I have talked about this. I've partnered with Senator Cotton on the Counter Act to update DoD's counter-UAS authorities and ensure that all bases in particular are covered. Our bill will lead to an increase in the volume of requests to the Department of Transportation for real-time execution and pre-coordination of counter-UAS packages. Unfortunately, DOT has lost numerous staff who focus on the Spectrum Engineering Office. Will you commit to increasing staffing for the Spectrum Engineering Office so the DOT is not holding up DoD's counter-UAS missions? And if not, what's your plan?
So I think we can be more efficient. I think we can do more with less. But we are mission driven. And so if I see staffing shortages that will prohibit us from meeting the mission, and too many people have taken a deferred retirement program, I'm going to no doubt hire more people in.
Mm-hmm. So just so you understand the legislation, what Senator Cotton and I are trying to do is give authority to the Department of Defense for the four corners of any military site to be able to take them down immediately so that we can actually assess who they are, why are they hovering, because the incursions over Langley, you should brief yourself, you should get a classified briefing, highly concerning. Second, we then want to be able to track and trace that drone when they leave the base so that we know who's launching them, from what field, who owns the field, from what ship, who owns the ship. That's where we need your coordination. But it has to be instantaneously, like within the 30-minute window, or we will lose that opportunity to arguably take down or get information about an adversary.
So first, I appreciate your work on this. This gets to be very complicated, but this is incredibly important.
Yep.
If we just look at what's happening in Ukraine and Russia, what's happening with drones is probably a wave of the future. I do think we have to think through how do we allow the commercial side of drone use to expand, and how do we still protect critical infrastructure with no-fly zones, restricting airspace. And the department the FAA has been working on that now to think through how we do both of those missions as part of the equities of FAA.
I ask you also about the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy. We've talked briefly about this. What is your plan to modernize it? Are you prepared to ask for the funding that you need? And are you committed to making sure our Merchant Marine Academy is on par with any other service academy in the United States?
Listen, I appreciate the question. This is in Kings Point, New York. It's a beautiful place with rotting infrastructure. I was talking about this with you earlier. The midshipmen went 4 months without hot water, taking cold showers at the academy. They eat off paper plates because their dishwasher was broken. They have mold in their dorms. This is not a facility that deserves to have the name America associated with it. And we would ask for some flexibility with how we use the money that's been given. But I think we have $170 million that's been appropriated by this committee that I don't think has been effectively used. There's been roadblocks, I think, at MARAD and at the Academy. We're going to work with the Army Corps of Engineers to develop a plan on how we use the money that's been given.
Yeah, I'd be grateful if you would submit the plan to me in writing into the committee so we can study it and be helpful.
Absolutely.
And then one point of interest is the DOD has these annual reports on the incidence of sexual assault in the military, and it's been a useful barometer of, are we providing oversight and accountability? Is the military justice system worthy of the sacrifice of our men and women? You are due a report within the next couple of weeks to have the annual sexual assault and sexual harassment report. Will you commit to making sure that gets to us?
Yes, I'll see where the status of that report is, and will no doubt try to be timely on that to the Senate.
Thank you. Capital investment grants. In the fiscal year 2025 continuing resolution and the bipartisan infrastructure law, we provided $3.8 billion for capital investment grant programs for new transit projects. There are 6 of these projects that are national in scope of significance. They are already signed full funding grant agreements. Do I have your commitment that you will move forward on these projects?
Are these announced grants?
Yes,
Or
so
these,
Los
or-
Angeles, the West Side Subway Section 3, Illinois, the Red Line Extension, Minneapolis, the Southwest LRT, New York, the Second Avenue Subway Phase 2, New York, New Jersey, the Hudson Tunnel Gateway, and Washington State, Linwood Link
So
Extension.
if you're asking me if I plan on canceling those grant agreements, I do not.
Thank you. Madam Chair.